Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. And do we have a very interesting year ahead of us with a great start apparently. It's you know what type of great I mean when I say great, but let's jump right into it. So first thing first, we have Biden while it was still in power, like days before he got kicked out of the White House. He did pardon a few people being 39. So one of them was his son. He pardoned his son, Hunter, for gun and tax felonies. So what does it mean when the president of the US, that's totally not a dictator, it's a president, pardons somebody? Well, that means that he doesn't go to court. He got charged with something, with tax felonies of some sort, and oh dear God, American websites. Okay, I'm not even gonna bother. And instead of going to court, instead of being, judged by the judge and having a fine or some sort of punishment for whatever he did, president just goes like, you know what, you're good, you're pardoned. And this is happening, as far as I can tell, only in the US, where presidents just do this usually right before their presidential term expires, so they can, protect the people who did something wrong before they leave. Because once they leave, those people would probably get arrested by another, party elected. So this is just avoiding court and letting criminals do their criminal things as much as they want. And this is, this is what they do. Just wanted to mention it because I don't know if this is happening anywhere else in the world, in a democratic world where apparently majority decides what happens in their country, and not just one president saying, well, he did some wrong, but he's my son, so he's good. I guess there are no laws against them. Moving on, you remember the TikTok thing when China didn't want to, negotiate with Americans because Americans are saying that TikTok is spying on American people through their app, and that's a bad thing because, US doesn't do things like that. They don't use Google, they don't use the Siri, the Alexa, they don't use Facebook, Instagram, anything. They don't use anything to spy on people. Just trust me. Just grab your phone, make sure you have internet connection. Sometimes you don't even have to have it, weirdly enough, but just have it just in case, and talk to somebody about some product for about 5 minutes and see what pops up on your Facebook as ads, and YouTube, and everywhere where you can see ads. You're gonna see that product all over the place. And you know what's the bonus of that? You can simply disable microphone and camera use for all the apps, and they're still gonna hear you. But that's not spying on people. It's okay if we spy on our own people, and everywhere else in the world, wherever Google has their fingers in, except for China. But when China spies on us, that's a bad thing, and we have to ban the app. So they first talked about banning the app and then decided, well, maybe we should buy TikTok. And let me tell you something, Chinese are not stupid. They're not selling their things, they keep buying things. Because, they're not Americans, they're not gonna sell stuff. They're like, okay, we're gonna buy whatever and we're not selling anything. So the US went like, well, we don't wanna have TikTok in our country if we don't control it. Why does US like controlling all the social media? Because they can do whatever they want. They can block any content they don't like. They can push forward content that they want people to see, and everything is government controlled. They're furious because TikTok is used more than their apps, and they can't control that part of people's everyday lives. So, but you cannot compete. So once they banned it, the ban didn't go in effect immediately, but China is not stupid, as I said before. As soon as they said, well, we are gonna sign this and this is done, China immediately shut it down. Just, we're not even gonna wait for you. We're gonna do whatever we want. We don't need you, was the message. So, US came to the part where Biden left the White House and Trump went in. And Trump immediately, for a day, literally one day it took for TikTok to be restored. Just like that. They didn't buy it. They just restored it because, well, there would be problems. Because US doesn't like when they don't have access to something. They want to have access to everything. And the problem was, people that were on TikTok, they moved to RedNote, another Chinese app. Weirdly enough, US can't develop an app that can interest these people. This is ridiculous. You cannot compete with Chinese. Did you see? I'm gonna put it somewhere around here. Did you see the phones they're making? Where they smack their phones with the screen on a fucking nail and nailing it in a board? When is US gonna make anything remotely like that? Never. Not in like 20 years. You can't compete with the Chinese. So, we're moving on to the Elon Musk. Oh boy, I'm really happy that people can finally see why I don't like this guy. I never did. This guy annoyed the crap out of me. Like, he's super smart and everything, he cannot connect a single sentence without just pausing for 2 minutes. He can't talk. And you're telling me this guy is making rockets and whatever. He doesn't make shit. He's ordering people who are qualified to make them. That's it. But now, a lovely gesture from him. So, he did this at the Trump rally, and didn't do it once. Like, if he did it once, like the first one he did, you saw the video. I don't know if I'm gonna put it here or not, but you saw the video. First time he did it, it was kind of to the side, and it was okay. I could debate that wasn't a Nazi salute, but then he turned around and he did like legit one. Like, you cannot deny this. And they're calling it everything. They're saying, well, he's autistic, so he does that because of the autism. How many autistic people who do this? I mean, I know a bunch that are autistic and Nazis. Those people do that. Normal people don't do that. You would never do that. And it's not like, I understand if you just did this with his hand and waved and whatever, and they capture a picture of him standing like that. I understand how that could be, well, misleading. But he did the full thing on his chest and up. This is ridiculous. And people are like, well, that's not really it. Just call it as you see it. That's what it is. If anyone else did this, like, let's say Putin did this, that would be it. That would be the end of it. There is no autism. There is nothing. He would be just hung by his feet. But this is fine because it's in the US, he's American, it's all fine. And we all thought Nazis were just in Ukraine. Well, guess who financed them? Who gave them the Starlink for communication? This guy. The whole Azov battalion full of Nazis. Yeah, this guy helped them out a lot. And now you're wondering why is he doing? Well, he's showing you who he is. So moving on to another country. Finally, not just about US. Well, still, it's about US. But US sanctions Serbian firm majority owned by Russians. So they're sanctioning Serbia. Yeah, the United States will, in the coming days, institute financial sanctions against Serbia's, not Russia's, Serbia's oil company NIS Petrol, as far as I know, but they say it's Bell here for some reason, which is majority owned by Russia's Gazprom. And, President Vučić said on Friday. So we got confirmation that in the next few days, the US will introduce sanctions against NIS because of Russian ownership, Vučić told, for the TV and stuff. So what is NIS? Well, NIS Petrol has a bunch of gas stations all over Serbia, and it was originally Serbian, but Serbian president, this really ugly guy, he's selling out everything he can sell in Serbia. He's selling it to everyone, doesn't ask any questions. He's selling things to Russia, he's selling things to China, to Germany, to US, to Canada. Serbia barely has anything of their own anymore because of this guy. And there is not a single Serbian that likes him, but it is what it is. So, this is a Serbian firm. Just majority, when we say majority, that could be 51% of it, just a little bit higher than the other side, is owned by the Russians. So apparently, US is saying that Serbia is fueling the war in Ukraine, giving Russia enough money to fight their war in Ukraine, by having these things operate in Serbia. So this is very, very two-faced, very stupid, because Serbia has about 6.5 million people in their country, probably, and they're apparently buying enough fuel to fuel the entire war in Ukraine, but the US, who's buying directly from Russia for their 300 and who knows how many million people, that is apparently not fueling that war. So you can't just... these are not sanctions against Russia. This doesn't have anything to do with Russia. This is just another Christian country right here that they want to destroy in one way or another. So even though Serbia keeps trying to improve relations with the US just doesn't care. They literally don't care about anyone but themselves. So yeah, this is also happening. It's very interesting, right? And I'm gonna show you here, around here somewhere, Serbia already shut down a bunch of these NIS petrol stations because of this. Apparently they're undergoing some constructions and whatever, but as soon as the sanctions came in, they shut them all down. So you tell me what's going on. So yeah, it was very interesting few days, and I'm very, I don't know if I should be. I'm not happy because a lot of people are getting screwed over, but I understand that things can't get any better just overnight. So we'll have to wait a few more years and hope that something changes, because the things the way they are right now, it's not looking good. But anyway, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. And I'll keep letting you know what you're cooking while you're not looking. And I'll see you on the next one.